Hey, you know what? On my last video, I was talking about the Monique and Shannon Sharpe thing. I turned the comments off because sometimes people don't even watch the video. They just spew their comments. And then the lessons in the video get missed because people reading the comments while the video playing. And the devil always send people to miss the point. And so what I was talking about on the video was about how everybody has a story to tell and that we can't just hear one side of the story and then run with that and not consider the other people's side of the story. Because what you have to realize is just how Monique got a story to tell, Oprah got a story to tell, Tyler Perry got a story to tell. And so we hearing her side of it, but we don't know what all she was doing on the set. And if you've ever been on a movie set and if you've ever been around Hollywood celebrities, you know that 95% of them are very rude, arrogant, and hard to deal with. And so it's not, but what's happening is people who have been hurt, people who feel like they've been done wrong, and maybe they have been done wrong, they going out and they telling their side of the story. And it's just, I believe what's being said, but I also understand, or not all of it, but I believe what's being said, but I also understand there's other sides to it. And, but we be so quick to hate and we be so quick to want to not like somebody that we've never even met. And that's the shift and the growth that I'm having. And that's why I'm sharing it with the people who are in this space to learn and to grow. For y'all stragglers that's coming just to comment and you don't watch the videos, you don't pay attention. And that's why I turn the comments off so you can't be sowing discord and causing confusion because I'm posting these videos because somebody asked me for my comments, not somebody else's. And so you have to listen to the full video, and what you'll hear, what a lot of times what I notice in the comments is what a person say, I hit on that point. But because they didn't listen to the video and they just went to comment before listening to the video, they don't realize that I said the very thing that they saying. And the interview with Shannon Sharpe and Monique, I watched the whole interview. It was 2 hours and 55 minutes. I watched the whole interview today because the last time it was an interview I commented on, I hadn't watched the whole thing because it was just too hard to get through. But today I woke up super early just because I went to bed early. So when I woke up, I ain't have much to do. I did my work, did my stuff, and then I just let it play. And I watched the whole interview. But the thing, what people don't understand is you got to have discernment. So Monique is not a victim. Yeah, stuff ain't happened the way she wanted to happen, and some stuff was said about her, but she not the only difficult woman in Hollywood. She not the only difficult woman on a set. So you think she the only woman that Tyler Perry done worked with that he felt is difficult out of all other men and women he done worked with? It's like, be realistic. But you could tell a person personality and you could tell that other side. So, and you gotta use discernment. If somebody is said to have been in an open marriage and they also don't believe in God, that in itself tell you the energy they bringing to your set. That in itself tell you what they coming with. But when people are very articulate and they express it and they take this angle of this ain't about me, I'm not hurt, this about the babies that's coming after us, it's this kind of auntie grandma type of role that disarm people. It disarms you so you can't even hear and see somebody else's perspective. Now this is the thing, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care for Oprah more than I care for anybody else. I don't care for Tyler Perry more than I care for anybody else. But what I'm telling you is if you're going to be out here in this ecosystem online, you have to be careful with how you listen and with the judgments that you form. because those type of things, those are spirits that you embody. And so the point of this is not about their interview. It's about you in your life. You have to take this stuff. Don't consume this stuff online and think this is just for your entertainment. It affects your life. So what'll happen is if you hear somebody go and they say this about, you've never met this person, and they tell these stories about somebody else that you've never met. And because you got a feeling from a distance, from a television, from an interview, you just believe it, you have just adopted that spirit. So now when somebody comes into your life at your job or at your home and they tell you something about somebody that you've never met, you will believe that because of how they phrase it, how they form it, how they say it. So if they take and they kind of put themselves in a victim role, like, I'm a little person and this happened to me and this person over here did this, and now you could take action and not even have the full story. So that's what you have to realize with this stuff is you don't know people motives. You don't know if somebody flat broke and they need to chase clout. You don't know what somebody done told. You don't know what somebody done did. And you also got to have an understanding of what you listening to. So like people were saying, oh, Monique is saying she was blackballed because she was asked to do extra promotion that she was not contracted for. Do you think Monique is the first actress and actor who was asked to do extra promotion that they weren't contracted for? That's what you have to realize. So if you on a film that already doesn't have a big budget and nobody knows what this film is going to do, and you only being paid $50,000, where do you think they got money to contract you for extra promotion if they only could pay you $50,000? But when you accept the project, they want you to embody it like it's your project. So if you don't embody it like it's your project and you join in the promotion, even when they don't have the money, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I've made the same mistake. I was in a Ford Motors commercial, and ironically, I was paid more for that 3-minute commercial than Monique was paid for her movie, her full movie. But they didn't know how successful the commercial would be. So after being paid, and then I was paid even more to go do like appearances. And then there was another appearance that they asked me to do, and there was no pay to it. But because I'm a part of this campaign, I said, yes, I'll do that other appearance. I lived in Florida. This appearance was in Washington, D.C. And it was at an event that I ain't necessarily care for. It was a Black Caucus event. I ain't know nothing about that. Caucus and all this, politicians and all of that. But I went up there and I showed face at that event for this commercial campaign for Ford Motors with the Ford Explorer promotion, Platinum Explorer. And then what I did is I got greedy. So because I had to made so much good money, when they came to me and said, hey, this was intended to just be a digital commercial, but we've now gotten clearance to put it on television. And I regret that to this day. And so if you're not in the industry and you're not doing appearances and you're not doing films or commercials and stuff, you don't understand how that stuff works. So you just taking this, and now Tyler Perry the devil, Oprah the devil, and you don't even know what go into all of this. And you don't even know the person you listening to. You ain't never met that person. You don't know how that person will treat you if they seen you. You could want that person autograph and get looked at like you dumb. You don't know that. So you can't take and jump and make that type of assessment. And so here it was. They say we got the chance to go to TV. And I said, no, I'm not signing it because y'all should have paid me for the TV. Because if I knew it was going to TV, so what you got to understand is I actually understand what Monique talking about. I done been through the same situation, and I'm on a project with a company that make 50 billion a year. I'm with Ford Motors. So they got the money. And what I was paid, and the budget from Ford goes to a marketing company. Then the marketing company go find the talent for the commercial. So it was the marketing company that came to me through my website and wrote into my email address, and I was paid way more than what Monique was paid for that. So I knew this company had the money, but the budget was spent. And then at the last minute, they say we're gonna do this, and so I stood on my business and I said no. And they ain't go back and forth. They ain't beg me. They said, but I regret that to this day. Because had I said yes, it would have that commercial would have went on television and more people would have seen my face and they would have heard my story. They would have seen my name, Tony Gaskins. More brands, Lexus could have seen me, Mercedes could have seen me, and they could have said, man, we like his look, we like his voice, we like that speech that he gave to the young people in the commercial. Here go this right here. And this what a lot of people not listening to is the man saying she hard to work with. That may not be fair for him to say that, but this is somebody who is pushing contracts. This somebody who giving people opportunities. This somebody who could have gave the opportunity to somebody else who would have been extremely grateful to do those extra promotion that what's the lady? I don't know her name, but she was in the help. Octavia Spencer, she could have played in Precious. It's another lady who play her mama. She could have played in Precious. Like, we got a lot of talent out there. So he come in, boom, here you go, Monique. But here's the thing. When you do a film, they take the film and they submit it to film festivals. This low budget film that one of your lead roles is only getting 50,000. You don't know if the Cannes Film Festival is going to accept this film. So when Cannes accept this film and they like, hey, will you go to Cannes? And she like, where my money at? I ain't going to Cannes. I'm going to be with my family. They like, what is you talking about? This is Cannes Film Festival. Like, everybody do this. Like, this ain't in your contract because we ain't think this was a possibility. We ain't think Kane's finna pick this all black film. This film festival over here in France or wherever, we ain't think this thing was finna get in there. And so that's what I'm saying. And then what you have to realize is they also have a comparison. So the reason I'm not speaking against Monique. I'm speaking to the listener to say, you can't just believe one side of the story and not hear all sides of the story. Because I just was on a TV show that they wanted me to be a part of every scene. And I turned down 2 of the scenes. They didn't expect me to turn down those scenes. So now I cost them time. I cost them money. And this is a nationally syndicated TV show. Some of y'all seen the show, Couples Retreat, that I was on. Well, it was scenes that they wanted me to be a part of that I said no to. They didn't expect that. They weren't ready for that. So now they got to send the other host out there by herself. So guess what? I pitched them another show. They turned it down. It could be part of the reason because I could have been deemed as hard to work with. But that's something that I got to stand on. So it's like, if you stand on business, don't complain about it. Because if they say Tony Gaskins hard to work with because he turned down this scene and this scene for this reason and that reason, I can't be mad at them. Anything I missed because of that, I can't be mad at them because that was the stance that I took. And that was their impression of me. Everybody got a right to their opinion. Everybody got a right to their stance when they putting up the money, when they giving the opportunity. And so here's the thing. When you next to somebody who is doing more than what they were paid for, like you hear that all the time in quotes. It's like when you go on your job, you paid for this job. Who gets the promotion to the next level? The person who does more than what they paid for, not the person who only does what they paid for. Because when you only do what you paid for, it says that you're in this for yourself and you're not a team player. That you're not in this for the greater good. You're in this for yourself. That's what you have to understand. So if you don't take the lesson from that, you'll go out and make the same choices that I have made, that Monique has made, and that stuff come back to bite you. And when you sit and you look at it, and so this is what people not understanding is I'm not speaking against what Monique did, but what I'm saying is if Tyler Perry say she hard to work with, and that's his judgment because of her turning down these other film festivals that they did not know they were going to have the opportunity to do, and also that they assume, which they should have put it in writing, guess what? They learned the lesson. But what if the young lady who played Precious went and did the Cannes Film Festival? Google it and see if she went to Cannes Film Festival. So now what happens is it says, oh, so this person and this person and this person, they were paid just like you or less than you, and they went and did this. They not hard to work with. They understand that we can't account for every door that this film gonna open. We don't know if it's gonna flop. So we can't contract you for 20 film festivals because the film festival has to accept the film. And if we only could pay you 50,000, we don't have all this extra money to be paying you to go international. But listen, we'll take care of your flight. We'll take care of your hotel. We'll take care of this. That's the industry. I guarantee you that there's so many other people that done had to go through that. You go through it on your job. I'm coaching clients every day who is on a job and paid for 40 hours but working 50. So guess what? You get to put that on your review. You get to notate on your review that you go above and beyond. Can't nobody say nothing to you. So this is the thing what you got to understand is when you hear this stuff, you got to take it with a grain of salt, even with myself. Because I might be talking about this relationship coach, talking about this pastor, talking about that pastor. And I could have a righteous indignation. I could be upset. But a lot of times when I think about that, I'm like, you know what, Tony? You telling dirt about this other man, but he actually not a bad person. He actually misguided. He actually misjudged. You actually could have went to him directly and something could have happened. Like you could have reached him. But y'all ain't sit down and have a real conversation. And then the thing about it is so people talking about, oh, you know, he said, I'll meet with you. Tyler Perry said, I'll meet with you. I don't want to meet with your husband. But she want to take her husband in there. Well, we don't know the reputation of her husband. We don't know her husband behind the scenes. We don't know who he is when nobody looking. Like, we don't know the stuff he done said, the stuff he done did. We don't know him. So if I'm about to meet with the talent and I need to talk directly to the talent, and it's a time for me to talk to the manager, it's a time for me to talk to the agent. But if it's something that I need to get done and I ask for that, and it's a no, then it's like, okay, well, the conversation not gonna happen. Because yeah, you should be able to it's certain rooms I go in that my wife can't come in. It's certain rooms she go in, I can't come in. It's not intended. It's not conducive for the flow. And so that's the thing what you got to understand is sometimes people do be, and what you're not listening to is when Monique was talking, she talking about the lady came in and said to somebody, "Why you got your shoes off?" Well, the person she said, "Why you got your shoes off?" could have been one of the staff working who was not supposed to be in that trailer with her shoes off. Now that's Monique trailer, and she let that staff take her shoes off, but that staff probably was supposed to keep her shoes on and not make herself at home in one of the actors' trailer. So then when Monique say, "Go get your boss," even that right there, it's like, man, why everything that come up got to be escalated all the way up the chain? Like, why every molehill got to become a mountain? So that is where people could say this person hard to work with. And so this what you got to realize is the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm the same person. How Monique is, I'm the same person. But in my growth and in my maturation, I'm realizing how I could be turning molehills into mountains. And I could be doing too much. And I could be feeling myself too much. And I could be making stuff too big of a deal. And that's what I'm saying is you have to be able to look at this thing holistically, because you will go onto your job acting like Monique and get fired. And it's something about humility, and it's something about being easy to work with. It's something about going above and beyond, going the extra mile. And it's other celebrities who have said this, and it's a quote that's put out there that said, "Don't feel like everything has to have a check attached to it." Like, some of my biggest breakthroughs come from me going and doing free speaking engagements. Some of my biggest breakthroughs, I have more connections and more respect and more clout than so many other speakers, because they want $10,000 to tie their shoes, and I will go speak to a sports team for free. And I will go speak to that sports team for free every single month. But that, by me serving in that way, it makes me money in other arenas, with other teams, with other opportunities. And that's what sometimes people don't understand. So it's also about growing and understanding when you need to be a team player, and understanding where you at and what need to be done. And so that's that's what that is. And you can't just hear. Now, I say that to say, I don't think Tyler Perry is the best person in the world. Like, I could believe him being shady. I could believe Oprah being shady and competing with women. I could believe that. But at the same time, we don't know what those people felt from the person who is saying, these people hurt me, these people offended me. We don't know what they felt. We don't know what was said to them from their side of the story. We don't know their perspective from being the producer, from being having the budget. Now, I think that was kind of, it sounds bad when Oprah called this person and say, "Hey, I want this role." And when they get the film and they see the person, the wish list for that character is Monique, and then Oprah call and say, "I want the film," you have to think about it. If you are an actress and somebody come to you for money and you see a role in this film that you could play, cause Oprah could act her behind off. Seen when she was in the original Color Purple, she looked more like an actress than she do a TV host. I sat with Oprah on her TV host, and I'm gonna say this in no disrespect, she's not that good of a TV host. Like, in my opinion, I felt like it's a whole nother. I feel like Oprah, when you look at Oprah in The Color Purple, that's the only thing I done seen in. I think that was Oprah. Wasn't that Oprah? I feel like Oprah a better actress than she is a host. Because when I sat beside Oprah on her TV show in 2009, I got to see up close and personal. So can you really, do you understand Hollywood? It's dog eat dog. Like, ain't nobody looking out for nobody. Like, it's dog eat dog. Like, if you finna come to me for money to executive produce a seminar, and I like the concept of the seminar, and you got somebody on there as the keynote, but you need me for my money, and I could do a keynote speech, I'm finna say, hey, yeah, I'll fund it, but I need the keynote spot. That's human nature, because that's the part of the game. You in that position because of the work you done put in. You in that position because of the sacrifices you done made. You in that position, somebody coming to you. So you can't expect somebody, especially somebody who not in the body of Christ, or who in the business, to do what they love to do. So it's like Oprah could be a TV host because that's where they planted her at. But her heart and desire and passion could be in acting. And when I seen it in The Color Purple, I was like, man, that woman could act, boy. A lot of time when you see people try to cross over, like if we seen another TV host go try to be an actress, man, it might look terrible. You might be like, ooh, wow, okay. Just like if an actress go try to be a TV host, it might be like, ooh, you trying too hard. Stick to the acting. So it's one of them things like that. It's like, what do you expect? Like, anybody gonna do that. But if we are fixated on not liking somebody because they're a billionaire, or because we don't like their beliefs or whatever, then we just gonna take that and run with it. And so that's what I'm saying is I'm in a space where you gotta try to get the lesson. And you got that, it's just like this right here. If your job come to you and ask you to do something that ain't necessarily part of your job description, do you say no? Or do you say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this one time now, or I'm gonna do this, but listen, we're gonna need to talk about this. So that's what I'm saying is, like, you could take the leverage and say, okay, I'm gonna look out for you on this one, because I understand the situation. Stuff is tight. It's, stuff going on. I understand. But on the next time, on the next project, I'm gonna have to tax you because you tried me. I'm gonna have to tax you. Just like that. And so that's the thing. And that's what now for me now, with the TV show and stuff like that, it was stuff that was against my belief system. It wasn't just like, if they would have called me and said, Tony, can you come to Atlanta for promo? Can you go to LA for promo? Can you go to New York for promo? Absolutely. Can you go to Canada for promo? Yeah. Can you go to Turks and Caicos for promo? Can you go to, Sri Lanka for promo? Yeah, I want my show to be successful. But can you sit down and talk to another God? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Can you sit down and channel a spirit other than the Holy Spirit? Absolutely not. I absolutely cannot do that. So that's the thing. When you standing on beliefs and stuff like that, but when you just scarcity minded and saying, you want me to go to this amazing, dope, historic film festival that a film like ours rarely get accepted into, but you don't have a check, I'm not going. That's hard to work with. Point blank period. That's hard to work with. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And that ain't no popular opinion because we love the perceived underdog. We love the perceived little person. We love that. But when you have discernment, you know people not as much of a victim. When you have discernment, you could tell people not as much of a victim as they make themselves out to be. Some people is now, but some people is a headache and a hard time. And you know why? Because I know I've been a headache and a hard time for no apparent reason. So gain recognize gain. So that's why I could see what Monique is saying differently. I could see it differently because I done been that exact person on TV sets. I done been that exact person in business deals. I done been that exact person just being difficult for no real reason. Being difficult when you don't have to be difficult. Being difficult when other people who is getting paid the same thing in the same situation see the bigger picture and say, yes, I'm going to do it. And it's like, it's going to come back to you later. And that's what I learned. That's what I learned. Like, I was going and doing this event for way beneath my worth, my speaking fee. But because of who I was speaking to, that turned into a major blessing in my life. Like, I'm speaking to the NBA rookies for a little bit of money. But guess what? Them NBA players, they mentored my son. They sent my wife clothes and shoes. They sent my son, both of my sons, clothes and shoes. They gave us autographed jerseys, autographed basketballs, football jerseys. They gave us tickets to the game, ticket to the All-Star game. Like, if I add up everything, these donated money to my nonprofit, but I could have been arrogant and I could have said, absolutely, I'm not speaking for that little bit of money. No. But guess what? Monique could have went to the Cannes Film Festival. I don't know if she ended up doing it or not, or what she was talking about. I don't know if she ended up getting a check or going because it wasn't clear. But somebody was saying she did all the American press or whatever that she was contracted for. But that's a scarcity mindset because when you go to Cannes, you finna be around the biggest directors, the biggest producers, and your film finna be watched. So instead of you just looking at it like, oh, y'all can't pay me to go over here, because what is that worth? $5,000? Like, really think about this. That's a scarcity mindset. But this the truth that a lot of people don't want to hear, that a lot of people don't want to say, because to go do a promo, you not finna get, if you got $50,000 for the whole doggone movie, you going to do that promo is worth no more than $5,000. And she said on the interview that they was like, we'll give her an extra week in France and we'll do this and we'll do that. Like, what's going on? So like, they trying to spend money, but it's like, what can we pay you? Like, you paid $50K for the film. Like, what can we, like, $5,000 gonna make you that happy? Like, we can't pay you $25,000 because you got 50 for the whole film. But guess what? If you go to Cannes, you finna bump into Martin Scorsese. I'm just making up a name. You finna bump into Martin Scorsese. You bumping right into him. So it's different when you meet people in person. So now he finna say, hey, Bodie, listen, I'm glad I seen you. I got a film and I want you in it. Because it just, sometimes you bump into people. And if you have done this, then you know, sometimes when you go, things happen. Like, I'm over here in England and so much has transpired and so many doors has opened since I have come that was not open when I was sitting at home. And that's what you got to realize. That's what you got to realize. And so what I'm saying is this ain't about Monique. I could not care less about Hollywood people